Good evening, everyone. It's Josh Verlin of Philahoops.com. We're here with Penn grad and CSN writer Dave Zeitlin after we watched Penn move to 6-2 in the Ivy League with a 73-66 victory over Cornell. Dave, this was getting a little hairy by the end, but Zach Rosen saved the day.
Yeah, I feel like we've been saying this all season. It was the Zach Rosen show. I mean, I've covered a lot of Penn games. I've seen some Penn teams, but I've never seen a player like this who just, at the end of games, it doesn't matter where he is the ball. He can be at half court. He just shoots a three and he makes it. You just have to feel so confident with him. He had 25 points. I think he had 13 points in the final 4 minutes. So I mean, that just shows what kind of player he is. And he carried his team on the back, and you could just tell he really wants this in his senior season. He doesn't want to finish without any postseason berth.
Like you said, Rosen did most of his scoring in the final few minutes. Up until that point, it had been Miles Cartwright stole the show. He finished with 22 points. What can you say about his performance tonight?
Yeah, it was a big performance. I mean, Penn fans like him. He came on as a freshman almost right away in the first game against Davidson last year, and he's been that guy, a solid starter ever since. He had 22 points. In the first half, I think he had 14. He was making his threes. He only came in as a 29% three-point shooter, but he shot, what did he shoot? 3 of 4.
5 of 6.
5 of 6 from three-point range, even better. And he had that dagger on the Rosen pass with about 30 seconds left to really ice the game. So Cartwright was great, and so was Rosen.
Tyler Bernardini only gets 22 minutes tonight with what Allen calls a health problem. With back-to-back games tomorrow against Columbia, how crucial is it for them to get him back healthy?
Yeah, he's been pretty hobbled. It's really tough with the back-to-back, as you said. So, I mean, if he can't go, I mean, Penn shows they have two great scorers in Rosen and Cartwright. I'd like to see maybe Marin Kukoc get some time. He's a good shooter. Steve Bernard is a good shooter. So they do have guys who can score. I mean, obviously, I've seen Bernardini for like 5 years now, and I really hope he's able to gut it through. I know this means a lot for him in his last year, but if he can, I mean, I'd like to see some other options step up, namely Kukoc, I think.
Talk about this being the last opportunity for Rosen, for Bernardini, and for Rob Belcourt. They've still got one chance left at Harvard. Where do you see this Ivy League race shaking out?
Well, I'm going to that game. I'm making a trek out to Boston, so I really hope it means something. I think it will. Penn's next 2 games, you'd like to think they should win. Home against Columbia and then away against Dartmouth, but every game's tough, not to say a cliche there, but I think Harvard is a clear favorite. Like your bracketologist has the odds, I think, at like 97% for them to win. So like they're obviously a favorite. They should win, but at this point, I mean, there's only 6 Ivy League games left, and Penn still controls its own destiny. And when you have Zach Rosen making crazy shots in the last few minutes, it's still possible. I mean, I think Penn fans should be optimistic at this point.
Other than Rosen and Cartwright and Bernardini, if Penn is going to beat Harvard, if Penn is going to win the Ivies, what other player needs to step up the most over those last few weeks?
Well, I mean, you mentioned guards. Harvard has some great big guys in Wright and Casey, so Penn kind of has a rotating cast of forwards that they are trying to get some production from. Nobody's been a big-time player. They start Henry Brooks. They have Fran Doherty. Cameron Gunter came in. Mike Hallett. I think when they play Harvard, I'd like to see maybe 2 of those guys at the same time to really help with their rebounding. Just that last game against Harvard, they were killed on the boards. Harvard is just too big for them. So one of those forwards can really score some points and really help out in the boards. I think they'll have a better chance. But that last game against Harvard was close. I mean, you saw it. I mean, Harvard plays great defense, but if Penn would have made just a few more shots from Zach Rosen or Tyler Bernardini, both had poor nights, so they just made a few more shots, they could have beat them. So it's possible. They can definitely beat Harvard.
They definitely can. This is the Penn team. They've got talent. They could win the Ivies. Dave, thanks so much for sitting down with us. I know what you're hoping for the rest of this season.
Let's go Quakers.
Have a good night, everybody.